and I reviewed the standards intensively over a long period of time. I find them mediocre, not awful, not great, mediocre, much below what international competitors do. Worse, large chunks of these mass standards are experimental without any evidence of success. So we have rather detailed standard imposed on the whole country without experimentation, without evidence of success, but they are claimed to be career and college ready. The truth is, we don't even know if there is such a test that can do both career and college ready. The National Assessment Governing Board, the people in charge of the NAEP standard, actually had a technical committee investigate this question, if there is such a test that can be both career and college ready, just 2-3 years ago, not 4 or 5 by now. The answer came back, no, we don't know, we have to investigate it and research it, yet they were declared career and college ready. I also looked at the cost of the testing, and if you choose to do a paper and pencil route, it will cost you about 5 times what you pay today. If you decide to go for the way that a new assessment is supposed to be administered, computer-based, it will cost you about 10 times what you pay today. So instead of about $8 per person, you will pay about $80 per person. I wish you good luck.
Pelham City Schools down in South Georgia, about an hour and a half below the gnat line. We are extremely concerned about this. Now, I will tell you that my statements and my position is not an official position of the Board of Education, but we have discussed this at great length. In Pelham, if we were to test all our students based on the figures that I've seen with the park testing coming in 2014-15, we're looking at a little over $45,000 per year. That's a teacher for us. And I don't see a pot of money from the legislature coming to pay for this testing. The governor said in a meeting with the senator a couple of weeks ago, there will be no money forthcoming to pay for this testing. I don't see any DOE money available for this. So where's the other pot? Local is what I'm thinking. We don't have it. We just don't have it. And I'll be quite honest with you, I'm also concerned about the lack of an appeals process for revisions to Common Core. There is none. Right now, if we want to appeal something in Pelham, we can talk to our local board. We can talk to the Georgia Department of Education. But who are we going to talk to if we want to appeal a standard with Common Core? Call the National Governors Association? I don't see it happening. Thank you.
It's strange, and I'm here representing parents. I'm a frustrated parent going through these Common Core standards and on a daily basis working with homework that I should be able to help my daughter with. I've been an accountant for 12 years. I shouldn't have problem multiplying fractions, but I do because of these Common Cores. I'm frustrated with it. I sent the senator an email just thanking him for introducing the bill, and here I am. So I'm glad to be here. I hope I can help, and let's get this done.
County, as Sharina mentioned, I was a reading specialist some years ago, and I have a love of literature. I have a renewed interest because I have 5 grandchildren. I've been studying this for about the last 9 months, and but found that a program that promises rigor is exactly the opposite. For example, the 20 most recommended reading books in the high school now are written at 7th grade reading level or less. And in math, right now our children are having algebra in the 8th grade. That will be moved to 9th grade, which means that those who are mathematically gifted will not be able to take pre-calculus and calculus and prepare themselves for college. So I think that this is something that we really need to let parents know. Thank you.
And we'll open it up for questions. We have Ms. Tanya Diddy, who's with Concerned Women of America, Virginia Galloway on behalf of Americans for Prosperity, Kay Godwin and Pat Tippett, who are with the Capital Coalition of Conservative Leaders, Julianne Thompson, who is the president of the newly formed Georgia Republican Assembly, Paul Smith, who is here representing Citizen Impact USA, and Joyce Shoemaker, who is with other members of the Conservative Leadership Coalition. So there any questions, we'll be glad to answer.
Ligon, Dr. Arnold mentioned that you talked to the governor. Any feedback, because we've known where he stands on Common Core, what feedback did he give you?
Sure. Well, he's concerned with the cost implementation. Right now, he is still sticking with the way that we're going, but we're working hard to try to present him with the necessary information, and we are certainly seeking his support on this, and we welcome his input and the discussion of this with him.
But if this would hit his desk this session,
I don't know. You know, we're still providing him with information, and we're hoping that he would be open to considering what we're saying about this program.
As noted, joining the core curriculums was one of the conditions for applying for a Race to the Top grant, which amounted to roughly $400 million. If Georgia does withdraw from this core curriculum, they will be required, I'm sure, to pay back that $400 million. Where do you propose to get the money from?
Actually, we've reviewed the conditions of the grant, and there's no evidence or indication in there that the grant would have to be returned. There were other conditions for going into Race to the Top, and participating in the Common Core was just a small element of that. So you could still conceivably remain in the Race to the Top program and exit from the Common Core. So, and Ms. Robbins may want to address that as well. She's done considerable research on it.
Well, it's kind of an unknown, but if you look at the many hundreds of pages of the Race to the Top application and the grant, I can't remember what they call it, the acronym is GAN, there are no repayment penalties in there. And as the Senator said, Common Core was just a small part of what we agreed to do. So that's what I'm sure the U.S. Department of Education would like us to think, that, well, you can't do this because you'll have to repay all the money, but we just don't think that's going to happen.
And Fayette County. And did you know that the Muslim Brotherhood has partnered with the United States Department of Education to promote their ideology in every public school system, not only in the United States, but worldwide? Thank you. Check it out. It's true. Thank you.
Senator, I know you're just curious about that.
Right. No, sir, we choose to homeschool our children. That's one of those, right.
Would you say that you don't have any skin in this game, is that your children? And I'm not saying that critically. I'm just.
I think that as a legislator, we all have skin in the game. There are legislators here who don't have children, may not have children, whose children have grown up, and this is dealing with the future of our state, and we want to make sure that our standards are rigorous and adequate, and that we retain the right to educate our children here in Georgia.